Want to know what South Korean children do when autumn arrives and the trees start glowing like they're covered in tiny orange lanterns? They climb ladders to pick the sweetest treasures you've ever tasted. Picture this. You're standing in an orchard where every single tree is decorated with bright orange fruits that look like they're made of sunshine. Oh my goodness, South Korea in autumn! The mountainsides turn red and gold, the air gets crispy and cool, and everywhere you look, there are these gorgeous persimmon trees absolutely covered in glowing orange fruits called gam. I was wandering through the countryside near a village one October afternoon when I spotted this brilliant sight: families walking through orchards with baskets and children carefully climbing wooden ladders propped against the trees. So naturally, I had to see what they were doing. This girl called Jiwoo was standing on a ladder, stretching up carefully to reach a persimmon hanging just above her. Her tongue was poking out a tiny bit because she was concentrating so hard. When she finally got it, she held it up like it was made of gold. "Look how perfect it is," she said, showing me this round, smooth fruit that was the most beautiful shade of orange, like a sunset you could hold in your hand. Her abyoji, that's Korean for dad, was steadying the ladder below. "Careful, Jiwoo, nice and slow." He smiled up at her with this proud look, like watching her pick fruit was the best thing he'd done all week. Jiwoo's little brother, Minjun, was on a smaller ladder nearby, picking persimmons from the lower branches. Each time he got one, he'd carefully place it in a basket lined with soft cloth so the fruits wouldn't bruise. Their Halmeoni, that's Korean for grandma, sat on a blanket under the trees, sorting the persimmons into piles. "These ones are sweet persimmons," she explained, pointing to the rounder ones. "You can eat them right away, crunchy like apples." Then she showed me the pointier ones. "These are astringent persimmons. We have to dry them first, or they make your mouth feel all funny and puckery." Minjun made a face, remembering the time he'd bitten into one before it was ready. Everyone laughed. What I loved most was how the whole family worked together. Halmeoni taught the children which persimmons were ready to pick. They had to be bright orange, not yellowish. "If they're too firm, leave them a few more days," she said wisely. Jiwoo showed me something really special. Hanging from the eaves of their house were strings and strings of peeled persimmons drying in the autumn breeze. "We call these Gotgam," she explained. Halmeoni peels them and hangs them up, and the autumn wind dries them into these sweet, chewy treats. They taste like nature's candy. The dried persimmons looked like little wrinkled orange jewels, and they were covered in this white powdery coating that appeared naturally as they dried. "That's the sugar coming out," Halmeoni said, with a twinkle in her eye. By afternoon, the family's baskets were full of beautiful persimmons. Some they'd eat fresh, cutting them into slices and sharing them right there in the orchard. The sweet ones were crispy and juicy, tasting like honey mixed with cinnamon. But Halmeoni was already planning what to do with the rest. "Some will dry for Gotgam, some will give to neighbours, some will make into persimmon punch for winter." She counted on her fingers, her face glowing with the joy of having so much to share. Minjun told me something lovely. "Every autumn, all the families come to pick persimmons together. It's like the trees are giving us presents, and we have to say thank you by not wasting any." Abyoji explained that persimmon trees have grown in Korea for thousands of years. "They're patient trees," he said. "They wait until late autumn when most other fruits are gone, and then they give us these beautiful gifts right when we need them most." And you know what? In South Korean villages in autumn, you can still see those strings of drying persimmons hanging like orange decorations. Sweet reminders that patience and family traditions turn simple fruit into something magical. Now here's what I want you to think about. Is there something special that grows where you live that families pick together? Maybe apples or berries or something else that only comes at certain times of year? This week, I want you to notice what's growing and ripening around you. Maybe you could visit a farm or orchard with your family, or even just notice the trees in your neighborhood. What's nature offering right now? And how could you say thank you for it?